What's going on, y'all? This is the Face Mask Podcast. My name is John Alsace, and today I wanted to get into a subject we're a little bit late on. I didn't quite get to this as soon as it happened, but I like to think that gives us a little bit more room to breathe, a little bit more time to think about it, and that's Giovanni being cut from the Bengals, Gio Bernard, and then subsequently being signed by the Bucs. Gio was cut after 8 seasons. He was drafted in 2013 with the second round pick, and he was drafted to be their workhorse, and it never really happened. But he was a very good number 2 in the league during his prime years. Word on the street is the Bengals asked him to take a pay cut, and he just said, yo, release me, and they did. And then he went to a Super Bowl contender, the number 1 Super Bowl contender, the guys that won it last year. Let's be real, despite anything that happens on the Kansas City Chiefs, I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the favorite to win it again after the fashion in which they won it last year, and with them bringing back their whole damn roster. And now we got extra guys like Gio Bernard patching holes. But now we have the ultimate running back by committee because we have Leonard Fournette, we have Ronald Jones, we have Gio Bernard, and we have Vaughn, who was drafted last year. Now, if you're looking at the stats just based off of last season, you would say, all right, Ronald Jones is the running back 1. Fournette mixes in as a solid number 2. Gio's brought in as the passing down back. Doesn't really affect either of the 1 or the 2 in front of him. And Vaughn is just sidelined because Tom Brady doesn't like rookies. Which is true. You saw the last year that he was in the Patriots system when he was just trying to win. They did not play Damian Harris for a full season, and they barely passed in N'Keal Harry. He doesn't like rookies. He doesn't like young players. He likes to play with vets because there's some sort of mindset thing. I guess if you've been in the league this long, you realize how to. I'm not going to philosophize on it. We're going to look at this from a fantasy perspective. I think going into that thinking Ronald Jones is the running back 1 is wrong. I think Leonard Fournette is the running back 1 in this offense for what it's worth. Now, it looks like they want to run something kind of similar to what we saw the Patriots run on the ground the last year that Tom Brady was there, where you had Damian Harris and Sony Michel and James White. And to be honest, you had Rex Burkhead, so they even had 1 more. But I think Leonard Fournette is the Damian Harris. Ronald Jones is the Sony Michel. Gio Bernard is the James White. I don't think we're going to see Gio Bernard running the ball a ton. I think he's just there to catch passes. An article came out about a week ago talking about how the running backs that the Bucs had on the roster had some of the highest drop percentages of any running backs in the NFL. Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, and Keyshawn Vaughn. So they brought in Gio because he's one of the best at it. He's one of the best at just catching the ball, not dropping it, and at least picking up 2 yards. That's what he does. Better than pretty much anybody in the league as a specialist. So now they have Leonard Fournette, who proved that he was the best back on the roster, and I think they brought him back. They made it a priority to bring Leonard Fournette back because they saw that he was a guy that could really be that 1-2 punch on the first and second downs, and Ronald Jones should be the guy that's spelling him instead of the other way around. Took them a year to figure that out. I think Tom Brady is more of a Leonard Fournette fan than he is a Ronald Jones fan. Again, speaking to the vet status versus being more of a young player, because Ronald Jones is only 24. Leonard Fournette's coming into his 26th season. Gio's going to be 30 this season. Vaughn's going to be 24. It looks like the 24-year-olds are kind of being phased out of this offense a little bit for as long as Tom Brady is on this offense. So yeah. Where does this take us in terms of fantasy value? What do you expect? I expect Leonard Fournette to be a very serviceable running back 3 who you can get pretty late and who will return value where you get him in the draft, wherever you draft him. Ronald Jones, I think, is a guy you want to stay away from because I think he's gonna require more draft capital to get versus a Leonard Fournette because of his youth and what he did last year. 978 yards and 7 TDs. That's impressive. But he had 42 targets for 28 yards, or 28 receptions for 65 yards and 1 touchdown. Those numbers should be erased because Gio's there. I would expect Ronald Jones to end around what Leonard Fournette got last year and what Leonard Fournette to end around what Ronald Jones got last year. Ronald Jones, 367 yards. Not quite the 6 TDs that Fournette got, but 5. Maybe he gets to 400 yards. I think Leonard Fournette's going to be the guy that approaches 1,000 yards, gets the 7 TDs, doesn't get the work through the air, but is absolutely a running back 3 who can provide you with boom weeks because of that touchdown upside, because we expect this offense to be scoring touchdowns. Gio Bernard, I don't know where to rank him, man, because you look at this offense, they took away Antonio Brown, they brought in Gio. James White was always a guy that was valuable in PPR formats and sometimes, in some years, half PPR. They went out, they targeted this guy as the guy they wanted, they got him. Tom Brady campaigned for this guy. They recruited him and Arian. So I think he's going to get a surprising amount of work for a 30-year-old free agent running back. But I don't know if it's enough to where you really even want him in half PPR formats. I think really full PPR is the format where you would want him, and you would want him as like a 5th, 6th running back. Off the chance that he can give you flex value during a bye week when you've sustained an injury at the running back position. Something like that. In terms of best ball, I know it's Nick's favorite format. I don't know where I'd go on these guys. I think for the most part, in best ball, I'd stay away from anybody not named Leonard Fournette. Because I can't guarantee the big games are going to be there for Ronald Jones. And I can't guarantee the big games are going to be there for Gio. But I know there are going to be games where they lean on Fournette like they did at the end of the season, last season, and he gets a touchdown. The touchdown upside is real with Leonard Fournette. You've seen it in Tom Brady offenses where a battering ram gets double-digit touchdowns. That's Leonard Fournette. That's all you're hoping for. You're not expecting him to get 100 yards on the ground, 120 yards on the ground. You're expecting him to get 60 yards on the ground, 70 yards on the ground, and a touchdown. That's all you want. That's all you want. That's all you're asking for. And I think Leonard Fournette gives that to you. So, do you guys agree? What do you guys think? I want to end this before I start rambling. I believe I already had. But what do you guys think about the Tampa Bucs backfield with the new addition of Gio, along with the incumbents that were already there in Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, and Keyshawn Vaughn, the forgotten guy, who, as just a end tag, I don't think there's anything there unless you're in a dynasty format, because he is the only back that is signed past this season. Take that information for what you will. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm completely off basis with where I'm coming from? Do you think it's going to be more like what it looked like last year with Ronald Jones leading the pack? Do you think Gio Bernard is going to be more involved or less involved than I think? Put your thoughts in the comment section below. If you could subscribe to the channel, that would benefit us gratefully. I would be grateful. It would benefit us great. Well, whatever. Love you guys. Thank you for listening.